G'day ladies and gents, welcome to Xrissart. I'm Chrissy. In this video I'm going to discuss the best paper for coloured pencil and demonstrate some paper swatching using coloured pencil, and I'll explain why I think this is really a good tool to have around. I think we're very lucky these days where we can choose from a variety of papers, although there are some paper manufacturers that have been making papers for hundreds of years. So this is where it gets confusing. Which paper should I use when thinking about a project? So I thought I could make a paper swatch, and that would help me decide which paper to use for my coloured pencil projects. Which also leads me to mention I have a live stream video co-hosted by Wendy O'Brien from Artista365, and I'll put a pop-up link to that video. Wendy and I talk about our experiences with paper swatching and the application of coloured pencils, and we also discussed our findings, which was very interesting. We went away and we did our paper swatches and we came back together and we discussed what we came up with. So that's quite interesting to have a look at that if you get a chance. So back to paper swatching. So I go ahead and I select a handful of papers I have in my studio, and seeing as I have a serious paper fetish, I had heaps to choose from and used the same blending techniques all the way through the papers that I was swatching. The papers I decided to use were drawing papers, watercolour papers, hot and cold press, pastel papers, and sanded pastel papers. But what I'll do is I'll put a list of the papers I used in the description box below. So I have to say each paper and application has its place, and there's no right or wrong, so long as you get the outcome that you're looking for. So I've got a handful of things that I just wanted to talk about, and there's about 5 of them. Number 1, layering, which is with no burnishing. This is probably my less preferred, but beautiful just the same. In this method, I used light pressure all the way until I achieved the result I wanted, or until I filled the tooth of the paper. Some papers were better than others when I was testing them out. 2, burnishing. Here I used Caran D'Arche Colourless Blender in this exercise. This is pretty much a woodless waxy stick which I used to burnish my subject. And I must say I was pleasantly surprised and achieved some wonderful results on some of the papers. But I found here it's probably better to use an oil-based pencil than a wax-based, just to prevent any blooming. And although I use the woodless waxy stick, I mean, you can also burnish with coloured pencil and applying firm pressure on the paper, which can allow you to blend the pigment. Number 3, blending with solvent. I used Zest IT in my project. This is pretty much a mineral spirit, specially made for colour pencil. It's got like a citrusy smell and is made in the UK. You can also use things like Mona Lisa, odorless mineral spirits, Gamsol, Art Spectrum also make an OMS, and I'm sure there's a whole heap more on the market, but these are the ones that actually just come to my mind. And I have to say blending with solvent was probably my favourite of all applications in this paper swatching exercise. I found this blending technique gave me a painterly look, and it allowed me to apply quite a few layers without damaging the paper, which is something that I know that a lot of colour pencil artists are always looking for and like to achieve. 4, graphite. Although graphite is not colored pencil, I thought to use this swatch in case I wanted to draw a project in just graphite. And I was pleasantly surprised with some of the results I got with some papers. Lastly, I used Powder Blender by Brush and Pencil on Uart 500, you know, on sanded paper, sorry. This is relatively a new product when we talk in terms of colour pencil history, and this product, in my opinion, is a game changer for colour pencil artists, and the only reason why I mentioned the Powder Blender is that the paper is the key thing. To achieve the best results, it has to be on sanded paper or gessoed paper. So I thought to include this in my paper swatching exercise to give me another option when choosing paper for a project. So this is why I thought colour swatching was a very good idea, because it gave me an insight as to what papers I could use for my colour pencil. So you're going to ask, so what's the best paper for colour pencil? Well, you're just going to have to do a colour swatch and find out for yourself, because each artist has a preferred style and a different way that they work. So if this is the first time you've viewed my videos and you wanted to see more of my videos, please subscribe, and don't forget to hit that or don't forget to click that notification bell icon so you don't miss any of my videos as I upload them. Thanks for watching, and until the next time, bye for now.